Hello and welcome to Minds Library. For those of you who are new here, my name is Miss Nilu and I'm an English literature enthusiast and teacher. On this channel, we explore the fascinating worlds within literature, diving deep into the stories, characters, and histories that have shaped our culture and thinking. Today, I'm excited to take you a journey through the history of English literature. We will trace its roots from the medieval era through the Renaissance and beyond. By understanding the historical and cultural context of each period, we will see how literature not only shaped society but was shaped by its in return. So now we will start history of Old English literature. Start from the root. Old English literature, 5th to 14th century. The history of Old English literature starts with the Germanic traditions of Anglo Saxon settlers, which were around 5th to 11th century AD. And the first long narrative poems in the history of English literature were Beowulf and Widsith. These two were highly narrative poems of this early period of the English literature. Beowulf is be considered as the first English epic poem, and some of the other famous works produced during the Old English literature include Genesis, Exodus, The Wanderer, Wife Lament, Husband's Message, The Battle of Maldon, etc. Earlier, to understand the temperament of readers, writers would make use of alternation rather than a rhyming scheme. Moreover, some of the famous writers of Old English literature were Canniwolf and Cadman. Do you have any idea where did the Anglo-Saxons come from? Anglo-Saxons left their homeland in northern Germany, Denmark, the Netherlands, and rowed across the Northern Sea in wooden boats to Britain. The oldest English literature was in Old English, which is the earliest form of English and is a set of Anglo Frisian dialects. What is the Anglo Frisian dialect? The complex of languages descended from Old English and Old Frisian, including English, Scots, and the modern Frisian dialects, considered as a linguistic group that is possibly through not necessarily descended from a single dialect of West Germanic. As the Norman conquested to England, Middle English replaced the Old English and was used by Geoffrey Chaucer in his famous work, The Canterbury Tales. Further, William Shakespeare came to be considered as the most iconic and greatest writer in the history of English literature, as he is revered for his legendary plays and sonnets. In the period from the 7th century to the Norman conquest of 1066, these works include genres such as epic poetry, hagiography, sermons, Bible translation, chronicles, riddles, legal works, and others. There are 400 manuscripts. Middle English became dominant in the traditional spoken language form in many parts of England. Most historians suggest that the primary language in England was Anglo Saxon, which significantly affected by the Norman language. Norman mostly preferred the French language in their courts and much in the writings, which accounted for the use of French based words to around 10,000, which are nowadays commonly being used in our daily routine. Example: boy, talk, come, there. If you know more words, please mention in comments below. So I made some questions, so you can read these questions and after that you can write the answers. So I think this will helpful for your further studies of Old English literature. So thank you so much. See you in next video.